Hello, everyone. All right. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. And I'm pumped. Today is the last day of the teens. Today is December the 31st, 2019. And I'm coming live from Tucson, Arizona, just like the strong hand. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin in motion. Bitcoin is the apex predator. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Unconfiscatable. Compete, don't complain. Conviction. I've got a lot of sayings today, don't I? Is that a saying? You can change your behavior. Don't FOMO on altcoins, people. No fancy sets or graphics here. Long-term thinking, this is your home. For what is this your home for? Bitcoin insider information. I want to say hello to all the people watching this in the future. You people in the 2020s are laughing it up right now, loving the Bitcoin, laughing at these old sayings of mine. Who knows if I still do them. Hello, my elite friends of the present and of the future. Long-term thinking. Okay, guys, disruptmeister.com. You can watch all my videos there. Follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TechBalt. Friday's show was awesome. Was the This Week in Bitcoin show. We're going to have another one, of course, this Friday. We have one every single Friday. You get a new show here every day, even on New Year's Eve day, which is today. Check out yesterday's show. It was at nighttime. A lot of you missed it. It was pretty funny also. Best guest in the freaking space here. Guys, if you've got questions, I've got answers. So if you're watching this live on New Year's Eve day, type in Bitcoin Meister in the chat or do a super chat so I see it and I will answer your questions. So I'm talking about the future a lot today, saying hi to people in the future. And one thing I really want to point out to them is a tweet by Whale Panda. And it says, can you imagine living in the year 2020 and not owning any Bitcoin? Now, he posted that today. Now, a lot of you that are watching this in 2029 are like, yeah, I can't imagine anyone living in the year 2020 and not owning any Bitcoin. I mean, the teens, that's when Bitcoin came out. That's when that was really the first decade of I know it came out in 2009, but you know what I mean here. The crypto revolution, the Bitcoin revolution started in the teens. How by 2020 couldn't a person own Bitcoin? Who are all these people that didn't own it? Oh, dude, person of the future, you got a lot to learn. Have they gotten rid of doomers in 2029? No, I find it hard to believe that we're about to enter 2020 and people haven't jumped in on this yet. But there are plenty of people that are just, they don't understand that this is as big as the internet, perhaps. There were people in the days of the internet when it was bubbling up in the year 2000 that had so many doubts, gave so many excuses. And most people make up excuses why they don't get into something. Hey, so is the way of the doomer. So my friends in 2029, be happy that you were not a doomer. And my friends here in 2019, dude, it is great to be in motion, isn't it? But we can learn from the doomers, and we're going to talk about some of the doomers because I've got doomer predictions. I've got in motion predictions for this coming year. So be in motion right now and pound that like button. Oh, yeah, we can still taste the teens. Hey, if you're watching this in Australia and a lot of other places, it's already 2020s. Hey, dudes, what's the 2020? What's it feel like? Probably just like 2019, but you know that the halving is coming. Oh, yeah. It is, I've been talking about this halving thing for so long, and now a few short hours, we're going to be in the year of the halving. It's pretty freaking surreal, isn't it? I love it. I love it. All right. Let me make sure there were no questions. All right. There are people saying also, UK Bitcoin Master is in the house. Dude, it's almost 2020 there, man. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Just learned Bitcoin. Happy New Year. Many Bitcoins to you in 2020. That is a great wish. I wish all of you many Bitcoins. Remember, this is called the One Bitcoin Show. I hope you all get up to one by the end of 2020. And if you do, make sure then get on the verge of getting on that second one. Remember, get one, then two. Keep on. That's your savings account. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Keep on getting more and more Bitcoin. Josh Kohout says, he sent $2.99 in super chat. He says, Happy New Year, Adam. Grateful for your Beyond show. Well, thank you. Saturday's Beyond Bitcoin show was pretty happening because it was the Bitcoin Rabbi. And then I just decided to do one on Sunday also. So you got two, but really, it was really on Sunday. The Bitcoin Rabbi show on Saturday, it was its own thing. And what a thing it was. So check that out. All right. I've got lots of people saying things here. Elaine, Mrs. UK Bitcoin Master. Oh, a beautiful lady. Nice t-shirt. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'd like to keep it simple like this. All right. It's just simply Bitcoin. Why diversify for the sake of diversification, people? You keep it. This is the real thing. You value your wealth in Bitcoin. All right, let me get back to my notes here. All the things it looks like people are going to have a lot to say today, so that's great. But keep the questions coming, man. It's a fun day. It's definitely a fun day. Everyone took off of work today, apparently. No, anyway, I can tell low traffic day on the internet, but I'm glad you guys are here and you're going to have a fun time tonight. Be careful tonight, people. Just be careful. It's amateur hour out there at the bars, and so be careful. You don't have to. Don't get super inebriated. Even in my day, oh no, I had some bad ones on some New Year's. Yeah, I was about to say, even in my day, I didn't get destroyed on New Year's, but there was one. Oh God, I was barfing up black bile. Yeah, so that but I was really young then. I was in college. Don't be that guy. Don't drink the Mad Dog 2020. I had Mad Dog 2020. I have a friend in Baltimore who loves Mad Dog 2020. Oh yeah, that he's got some, he got some weird taste buds there, doesn't he? Well, it's Baltimore, of course. But Mad Dog 2020, 1 year in college, I was actually home in Baltimore. I wasn't with my college friends, it was with my high school friends. I drank so much of the orange MD 2020 that I vomited up black bile. And the next day, when my father picked up my friends and I up from wherever we were, he's like, "It smells like octane here, like cheap liquor." I'll never forget that. My friends were scared too. I didn't say anything to him. I didn't tell him that I had vomited all over myself and drank a bunch of orange not Bitcoin 2020, Mad Dog 2020. Little did I know how important the year 2020 would be eventually. So don't celebrate with the 2020 Mad Dog. Celebrate with the 2020 halving. I don't know. Pound that like button. You get a little story there. Hass McCook, my buddy who is in Sydney, where it's already 2020. Oh man, that was quite a day, wasn't it? You know what? Was that? Did my dad say that line that day, or was it another? I'm confused now. I know I smelled like MD 2020 when my father said that. All right. Yeah, it's like octane. I mean, you could power your car, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. So Hask McCook's got a video and I linked to this article, but there's a video included there for those of you who cannot read it. He compares Bitcoin to a startup. He says Bitcoin as a startup. He talks about the 4-year periods as funding rounds. That's his comparison. It's a good analogy. It's something to read on New Year's Day when you're recovering from drinking that green Mad Dog. Yeah, it's green also, and it's blue. And it's all different colors of the rainbow, Mad Dog. And still, my friend in Baltimore, he still drinks it. And this was many years ago when my father picked it. My friend who I'm referring to, he was one of the guys that smelled like octane with me. He didn't vomit over himself the night before, though. Yeah, my dad did. You see, there was another time my dad picked me up. Oh, yes. Yeah, there was another time he was like trying to talk. I could hardly talk because I had drank so much the night before or something. And I had to go to a bar mitzvah that day. Oh, my God. That was another time. I'm getting two different things confused here, I think. But he was picking me up from the guy's house that still loves the Mad Dog. A lot of you are like, Adam, I don't want to hear about your Mad Dog drinking. And don't do it. You learn wisdom with age, okay? That's not really that's common sense. But when you're 19 or whatever, you don't have much common sense. If you're 19 and you're watching this, get Bitcoin. I know you value your wealth in women and Mad Dog and whatnot, but dude, you'll thank me later. You'll thank me when you're 30. All right. So Haspel Cook, click on his link. Here is a tweet. Oh, this is a good one from 6.15. He says, optimism is a key factor in distinguishing gold bugs from Bitcoiners. I agree. Many gold bugs are doomers. He uses the term doomers, pound that like button, to their core. Yes, I agree. Bitcoiners see the path to doom and fork it towards prosperity. Choose the better path. Yes, that's in motion. The Bitcoiner is in motion. The Bitcoiner theoretically can see, all these bad things can happen. I will go on this new path that has been brought to us by Satoshi Nakamoto, came up with this new thing. I can jump on this. This is gold 2.0. This doesn't involve the whole world falling apart. This is positive. This is in motion. Dude, 6.15, great observation. I've been talking about it here for a while. Ansel Lindner actually mentioned it on a past This Week in Bitcoin show. Check out all the past This Week in Bitcoin shows at techbalt.com, TECHBALT.com. I hope you're playing this at 2x speed so you don't have to get bogged down by my stories about drinking Mad Dog. I really did vomit black bile. That's really sick. So Roman Q says, 10 years from today, Bitcoin's mined supply will be 20 million, and it's a big number, 478,000. I will still be here watching the Bitcoin Meister. Measure your time in blocks. Oh, yeah. Value your time in halvings, dude. Definitely. And yeah, it is important to point out that in 10 years, after the 2028 halving, they're not going to be making too many new Bitcoin. Miners aren't going to be mining. It's really slowing down after 2020 halving, after 2024 halving. It keeps getting cut in half. That's the name. So that'll be a wacky world after 2028. I just only basically there'll only be 500,000 more Bitcoin to be mined at that point. For you dudes watching this in 2029. How you doing? I hope my my oldest nephew is watching this in 2029. Anyway, there's someone talking like a Baltimorean. Zabak the Midget says, where the, I don't want to say that word, a word for women. All right, so 3 halving, 1, 2, 3 no script says Bitcoin Meister, 3 halvings will occur in the next decade. Yeah. Which start, I'm pretty in the 2020s. I'm pretty positive the price will shock a ton of non-believers by the time 2030 rolls around. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin strong hand, dude. Thank you. That's awesome. And Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, says, I'll have a glass of Bally's at midnight and toast both my dad, who passed 9 years ago, and my kid brother, who passed suddenly on this day in 2013. Well, dude, you should remember your loved ones. That is great. And I, of course, I told a story about my loved one who has since left this earthly realm. But hey, enjoy yourself this evening. Remember those who have left us this year and this decade and this millennium, and look toward the future, baby, because you're living it for them, baby. You're doing it. You're living it for 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. You never forget those people, and it just gives you that extra freaking zing to your life. That I get to see this now. It's sad my relative didn't get to see this, but I'm seeing it for them, and I'm gonna live it for them, baby. Pound that like button, dude. So enjoy that elegant Bally's with your lovely wife, and pound that like button. Okay, so we got more to go. There's a lot to talk about here today because hey, we're wrapping up the teens. So what do we have? Oh, let me get back to Adam's notes here. So much, but I'm going to read what everyone's got to say here. Tour de Meester, yeah, the Bitcoiner is in motion. The gold bugger, not so in motion. But there are some golden holders. They got used to gold, and now they're transitioning into Bitcoin. They know what holding is about, and maybe they'll still hold their gold too. But they are just happy to hold that Bitcoin on their trésor. Hey, I am not against. I welcome everyone into the space because that's the glory of Bitcoin. No one can be, you can't ban people from Bitcoin. Now, let's talk about people who like to ban and like to, rely on lawyers and such. Not Tour de Meester. Tour de Meester has a very interesting tweet. I feel mostly sad about this whole Satoshi BSV tragedy so far. As it suggests, Faketoshi has serious mental illness. What kind of childhood could explain adult behavior like this? You know, Tur is a very caring man. He experienced some issues in his childhood, from what I gather from his tweets. And so when he sees someone who is mentally disturbed, he feels for them. And he thinks, what kind of abuse could this person have experienced as a youth? So it is, one can wonder about that. And just my advice to everyone is, treat kids with respect. Do not abuse children. If you ever see a kid being abused, say something, and try to help out the child. Try to help out children that have been abused so they don't turn into these psychopaths and sociopaths of the world. Because mental illness is a serious thing. Some of it is I think totally genetic and everything. But it on a certain level, it is environment, and abuse can just destroy someone's mind and turn them into just a disaster. So yeah, mental illness is definitely in the land of BSV. So and Tur feels for such people. Anyone can come into this space, baby. There are a lot of people in the crypto space that are not exactly functioning in a way mentally that is 100%, to say the least. Okay, so I want to say something positive as we enter this golden age. My thoughts that people today, in motion people today, as we enter, they're going to be very well off in 2029. So let's start off with that positive note. It's a pretty broad prediction, but hey, what the heck? It's positive. It's good. And it's easy. If you're in motion now, if you're buying that Bitcoin, if you're positive with your life, but 2020, this is going to be such a glorious decade with such opportunity that you're in motion. I was going to say the momentum's already there for you. The momentum is already there for you. Now, I will say this for this next year, because we just talked about Faketoshi. And this is going to be true for every year, because this is the way of the 80%er, of the short-term thinker, of the impulsive person. People will continue to fall for these ego coins, okay? And these cult leaders in the space. More of them are going to come along. As wrong as they are, as easy it is to expose them as being wrong, they are still going to get followers. There are just people out there who want a leader that says bold things to tell them what to do. And they get into cults. They just a certain percentage of people. And people want to be the next Bitcoin. They'll see some coin and they'll be, oh, well, this larger than life figure, even though it doesn't seem like he's telling the truth all the time, he's right about this. So hey, I'm buying this ego coin. It's going to keep on happening. That's one of my predictions. We're going to have people come to the space that are doomers, that are it's just going to keep on happening. It's going to keep on happening. So hey, that's a prediction. It's not like 2020 isn't magically going to cleanse the space of cult leaders, of doomers, of no coiners. It's all going to be around. So strong handers, though. This is what I will say, and this was in the title. we're going to be the minority still. The people that aren't tempted by all the nonsense out there, the people that don't trade, the people that don't go back and forth and just, you know who they are. All right. We're going to remain elite. We are the true elite. Okay. In the true definition of elite, the most rare, the most special in the space, because the people who don't panic, most of the people in the space are huge chunks of people. They panic sell, they weak hand it up. The strong hand holder is the rarest of the rare and will continue to be the rarest of the rare. And in 2020 and probably 2021 will even become more rare because of all the new people coming in to the space because of DeFi and all these buzzwords that I cannot even predict. By the way, my prediction, the biggest buzzword in 2020 will be DeFi. So just remember that, that if you're a strong hand, you truly are the most elite and you will remain the most elite in 2020. So there's a prediction. How many new sayings will I come up with in 2020? Don't know. But there will be new ones. There's a prediction for you. Keep using them, people. I really appreciate it. A lot of you on Twitter just say some of my sayings. Strong hand. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Don't FOMO on alts. It's very flattering. It's very good. Spread the word. And the best way to support the show for free, just retweet the stuff on Twitter. This video out there. Yeah, this is where the big boys play. It truly is where the big boys play because dudes, all sorts of cult leaders can come here, and you have to be a big boy and not be like, well, I'm going to fall for them. No, big boys don't fall for that. But we can't ban them. They can't be banned. Nothing can be banned from Bitcoin. All right, so DeFi, I talked about that buzzword. Let's go back to the 90s, the mid-90s. And we'll just pick a random year, like 1994. It was impossible in 1994 let's talk about an unimaginable future asset. What was an unimaginable future asset in 1994? Domain names. Domain names. No one in 1994 could say by 1999 there are going to be these things called domain names that people are going to be bidding up and trying to buy up so that they sit on them for the future and they're going to be worth a lot. No, that was just, you could not imagine that. Even though the internet was around in 1994, there was some sort of internet, news groups and whatnot. You couldn't predict this domain name revolution, domain name land grab that would happen. And domain names are legitimate assets. They became incredibly legitimate assets by 1999, 2000, 2001, or whatever. So in terms of, let's go back to 2016. In 2016, in our Bitcoin space, in our own Bitcoin space, you could not have predicted that in 2017, by the end of 2017, that there would be crypto dividends, that there would be something called Bcash that would be worth more than your Bitcoin was at the beginning of 2016. Okay, literally by holding Bitcoin, that entire, if you bought Bitcoin when it was like $215, $300, $400, eventually you got this free Bcash that was more than that, that was worth more than that, more than $300, more than $400. This was something that was totally unimaginable, but became a reality. So in the next 10 crypto years here, I mean, what's going to happen that we cannot even fathom right now in terms of holding Bitcoin? What's the next crypto dividend type of thing that's going to pop up on the scene, okay? It is hard to predict the evolution of financial innovation. I mean, it's impossible. I mean, it's basically impossible. And that's why you should be excited. We don't know what the heck is coming next, baby, but it's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome for those of us who are hanging on to that Bitcoin, at least, that have that base layer, okay? If you don't, then you're going to have to pay for it, all right? So, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Now, what else do I have here? Oh, I better look at the comment section, the chat going around. Oh, wow. Okay, good. We got a lot of people chatting. Now, Lele is in the house, I see. Is he asking me about my backside? All right, no more. I don't see any more Bitcoin Meisters over there, but thank you so far. All right, we're getting there, people. We're getting there. Pound that like button. We're getting there. It's almost the last show of 2019. Wow. All right, 2019 distribution of daily returns. This is a chart that's tweeted out by Skew and some Bitcoin stats to finish the year. 2019 return in terms of your fiat freaks was 95%. Yeah, people are there's so many people. Oh, it's only $7,000. Just like people, you were the same ones that were saying it's only $3,000 at the beginning of 2019. I mean, do you see how odd that is? You were sad it was 3,000 at the beginning of 2019. Now it's the end and it's more than doubled. Put it in perspective, people. All right, he does say 150 days where Bitcoin moved less than 1%. Volatility? That doesn't seem too volatile. Now, for some assets, that to move 1% in value. I mean, gold. That's pretty volatile. I mean, the Goldbugs go crazy when gold goes up by 1% in 1 year. But for Bitcoin, 150 days where Bitcoin moved less than 1%. That is good. But then we had for those who don't like volatility. I don't really give a darn. Because I mean, I have more Bitcoin than I did at the beginning of the year. I mean, that's your goal, to get more Bitcoin. But maximum 1 day move in the positive direction was 17.4%. Minimum 1 day move, and I think maximum negative move, we should say, was negative 14%. As I say, we'll have days when it goes up by 1,000. We'll have days it goes down by 1,000. As in this deck, in the 2020s that we're about to enter, you're going to see some days that are going to make you feel like you just had that orange Mad Dog and went a barf up black bile. Okay, it's like a roller coaster you cannot even explain. I mean, who knows? 6-digit round to 5-digit round. Who knows what this next? Be prepared. That's why you got a strong hand. But I do think there will be, as the years go by, each year there will be a little less volatility. I do see that. This year was definitely less volatile than last year. Maximum. Okay, we talked about average absolute daily move was 2.4%. 90% of returns were between a negative 4.7% and 6.1% on a daily basis. Think Bitcoin is volatile? Depends on who you ask. All right, thank you for the statistics. All right, that is the end of the show, I believe, unless there are any other questions. Yeah, Roman Q said, Bitcoin Meister, in 2019, it was a big deal when the U.S. president tweeted about Bitcoin. In 2029, it will be a big deal if all the world leaders are not talking about Bitcoin. Hey, I think you got a good point there. They're not going to talk about it every day, but I mean, you're not going to be a legitimate world leader if you haven't talked about the Bitcoin situation or you got to, if you're a legitimate world leader, you're going to talk about the financial situation in your country. And then, even though I don't think most people will have Bitcoin even by then, I don't think it'll be over 50% of the whole world's population. If the world's population is 8 billion, then I don't think it'll be over 4 billion people will have it. It'd probably be slightly. I'm not going to make predictions what it's going to be in 2029, but still, any leaders will have. Most leaders will have addressed it by then, definitely. And there are going to be a lot of different approaches in this next decade, and some countries are going to lose out a lot. And when they take the backward approach toward Bitcoin, but there are some countries, I mean, that right now are minor or not even on the radar in terms of wealth and prosperity, and they are going to really live it up in the golden age. And who knows? Good luck to those countries. Compete, don't complain, baby. There's another saying. All right, dude. So I like my musical recommendation of the day. For my friends in Southern California, I listened to it right before the show because it's a good song. LA Woman by The Doors. Listen to it. Gives you a little bit of a feel. I've driven around when I was a little younger. I drove around LA one evening with that song blasting, and you can really You get the vibe a little bit, dude. You get the vibe of Southern California, and it makes you drive a little faster. Don't drive fast. Don't drink and drive. Be careful tonight, people, wherever you are. If you're in the land of Jim Morrison, if you're in England, if you're in South Africa, wherever you may be careful. And the Fundy AU is in the house. It's already 2020 in Perth. By the way, I will be in El Paso soon. I made up a term about El Paso, even though I've never been there. It is the Perth of Texas. Pound that like button. Okay, I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Everybody have a happy new year. We're getting into the 2020s. Be enthusiastic. If the teens weren't good to you, well, guess what? You're alive for the 2020s. Make it great for you. You got to be in motion. You control your own life. You control your own destiny. No one else controls your destiny. So when we enter a new year, we enter the 2020s. It's so much opportunity, so much positivity. So keep it positive, people. And even though it'll be the 2020s tomorrow, I'll be right here. So I'll see you tomorrow. And it is just it really is just a mindset. Water tastes the same today as it's going to taste tomorrow. And that's all I drink is water, of course. And of course, today I'm totally fasting. Fast will be broken tomorrow. See you guys later. I just want to make sure I didn't leave any subject matters out. It feels like I left something out. I don't know. I guess there wasn't much to talk about today. All right. So yeah, remember, I'm the Bitcoin Meister. I'm Adam Meister, the Disrupt Meister. All these freaking sayings that I have. Pound that like button and bang the bell button for the golden age, baby. And yeah. Oh wait, what was that? No, that was a negative thing. There was something negative I left out. That's good. No need to be negative. We leave it on a positive note. See you in 2020, people. I'll say hi to everybody in the chat. Bye-bye.